done with Steven Gerrard, then I think it should get done, because you look at what he brought to Rangers the last time. It needs that sort of lift injection again, because it's been flat now for a period of time. That
Kris Boyd wants Steven Gerrard back at Rangers as he lists 3 things the former Rangers manager can bring back to the stands of Ibrox. Well, back to Fog football. Now, hopefully Rangers delay the announcement, or else this video could be outdated, because as of right now, Steven Gerrard is not officially the new Rangers manager, but we're going to discuss that a wee bit as well. And Jambo Bear, you happy that Derek McInnes isn't going then? Allegedly, because he might not be.
I mean, I'm somewhat happy, but I knew he wasn't going to go anyway.
I know,
to be honest, so it was never really an option. There was just no way this early into his heart. Here, had this been McInnes' second year at Hearts, then absolutely, but he was never leaving like 4 or 5 months into the job. I mean,
so if Rangers demanded him and Hearts accepted a bid of compensation, he wouldn't go?
I don't think so, no.
Derek McInnes, man, he must be a Jambo at heart. He really, really must be. But you're right, Kris Boyd, back to Kris Boyd. So he said this about Steven Gerrard, and I quote, "You look at what he brought to Rangers the last time, it needs that sort of lifting injection again. It's been flat now for a period of time. Steven will no doubt bring a presence with him, lift the standards, and I think first and foremost he knows what is required to be a success at Rangers Football Club. It is not as if he's going to come into something that is alien to him. He's been there. He's had the pressures of a City and Liverpool on his shoulders for a number of years. He came to Glasgow and it took him time, but he eventually got there." End of quote. Totally agree with that. But right, we can look through the mumbo jumbo, the long dragged out sentences. See, for me, Steven Gerrard won the league with Rangers. None of this. He won it. He won the league managing a different team in a different country, or he's got a philosophy, or he's Carlo's son. This guy is the last guy to manage Rangers to a league title, and for me, it is the absolute biggest no-brainer on the planet. I have not one negative to say about this guy, right? Even if you want to spin, well, he did shit at Villa, and he did shit in Saudi Arabia, right? Even if you want to spin that, see if he did good, we wouldn't be having him back. Because he'd be at a job like Liverpool if he did good at Villa. That's just the reality we're dealing with here. Gerrard, since leaving Rangers, had to fail to come back. I think we have to accept that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, if Gerrard went to Villa and had success, then he wouldn't be coming back to Rangers. He would either still be at Villa, or he would have probably gotten the Liverpool job after. See if Gerrard was successful at Villa, when Klopp was calling it a day, Liverpool would have probably took a chance on him.
And it's the same, right? Up and down the league. That's why we see players, right, when they get older, come back. Brendan Rodgers, he went to Leicester. I mean, he won an FA Cup. He did all right, but it wasn't. I mean, it was decent. I wouldn't say Brendan Rodgers failed, but end of the day, well, he kind of did get sacked, didn't he? So I mean, he failed to a degree, Brendan Rodgers. But you always see players come back at an age where they're no longer good enough for like one of the top 5 leagues, and they end up coming back to Scotland, and it's no different here with Gerrard.
I wouldn't say Rodgers failed at Leicester. I think he done a good job. I think he had success, but at the end of the day,
he didn't come back when he was on top.
Yeah, but it was never going to happen. Rodgers was never going to win an FA Cup with Leicester. He was never going to join Celtic after finishing 5th. Rodgers was never going to finish 5th, have the Europa League football coming up the following season, and go, fuck it, I'm going back to Celtic. For Rodgers to go back to Celtic, he would have needed to go through a bad run and get sacked at Leicester, or do bad enough where he thought he was going to get sacked, then choose Celtic. But even then, Rodgers at Leicester was always going to wait it out. Even when he was like down at the bottom of the table in the relegation places, he was always going to believe in himself that A, he could turn it around and keep his job, and then secondly, we've also got to factor in that the amount of money that those managers are on, they're not just going to walk away from a Premier League. They're always going to get sacked. They're always going to stay until they get sacked and get the big payoff. I mean, it was never going to happen.
See, in an ideal world, right, you would want Gerrard to go to Aston Villa and win the Premier League, right, and win the Saudi Arabian League and come back, but it just can't happen. But no, it matters. He won it here. We're not in a blessed position right now where we're going to be able to go out and get a manager that's brilliant, right? in terms of we don't have the finance. The league can't do it. The league simply can't do it. We can't go out and get a top coach like a Pep Guardiola, right? Here, who knows? See, a month ago when Gerrard left Fenerbahce, maybe Mourinho at this stage of his career would come to Scottish football. I don't know, but Gerrard, for me, feels like the best we can get, and I have no complaints with it. I would rather see to me, every signing and appointment you make is a risk, but this is a calculated risk. See Russell Martin, that was just a risk in all capitals.
A risk that didn't pay off.
No, it didn't. And what I would say is, if the board bring Gerrard in, which is looking likely, they can kind of turn around and say, well, you know what, we brought in the guy that 99% of you all want it back. It's almost like a get out of jail free card with the board. We did what you wanted, and look, it blew up, so the next guy's on us. But put it this way, folks, I don't think Gerrard will fail.
And that's why I think Gerrard will be the man they bring back. That like you said there, that is legitimately how it will go. I think if they bring,
it will take a lot to turn on Gerrard.
Yeah. Plus, if they do turn on Gerrard and he's unsuccessful, I just don't see how the fans will blame the board for it.
But see,
because that will be their number one appointment.
The crucial thing is with Gerrard though, he's got credit in the bank. He won the league, right? See with Russell Martin, I'll admit, I'll hold my hands up with Martin. I think a lot of people got to hold their hands up with Martin.
I don't understand how it was so bad, because his track record isn't that bad.
Yes, but true.
His managerial record would suggest that he could do okay at Rangers.
See with Martin though, he had no credibility and he lied through his teeth. He gaslit us, right? But at the same time, it wasn't just 100% Martin. The players got to take responsibility. But I think the key difference is, see if Gerrard comes in and after 2 months and the performances are still shite, I don't think things are going to go towards Gerrard. It's going to go towards the players.
True.
And I think we've seen that in the past as well. I think under Clement, towards the end of the season, his first season, it wasn't really turning on Clement. It was more the players like Tav and guys like that. So yeah, but we'll move on here to
Russell Martin never got that opportunity for some reason.
He didn't, but see some players.
Yeah, but you see with Clement, results were beginning to get bad. But I've never seen any Rangers manager with the results that Russell Martin, and the win percentage speaks for itself. These are results that we've never seen before.
Credit can only take you so far, but he had nothing. He had no credit. It was like the slot machine, and you've got £8 coins left. And it just says insert credit, and you're fucked. That's Russell Martin. I mean, he's trying to insert a big bit of broccoli into the slot machine, and he's winning hee-haw. There's no bonus to be had there. That's what Boyd said about Gerrard again, and I quote, "You just felt if the Rangers board at the time backed him, then he would have probably went on to win more. They didn't, and he decided to leave. I think that is why he is saying he's got a lot of unfinished business still in football, and there is no doubt Rangers Football Club will be one of those." End of quote. Absolutely right. Honestly, I think Rangers is quite easily the best job that Gerrard can get. Fella derailed them, and I would say the Saudi Arabia is almost steamrolled them, right? In terms of like the English game, he's not going to walk into a Premier League job. Again, I think he would have to be massively successful for Rangers to get back into the Premier League. But that's not me saying it's impossible. I think it's his only route back there. Yeah, maybe Gerrard doesn't even want. Maybe Gerrard this time around is legitimately going to stay at Rangers for a long period of time. Maybe he's going to be like, you know what, I had it great there the first time around. I should never have left to go to Villa. I hope that is the case. I hope it is successful. But the key thing is as well, for Gerrard, he has got pretty much immediately to right the wrongs. What's in it less than a month's time? Semi-final against Celtic. And what can he do? He can shut up the doubters about the 1-9.
I don't think it really does that much damage though if he loses. But I think a win...
No, I would agree.
A win's massive. I don't think a defeat's that big for Gerrard, but I think a win would be massive.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think a win's massive.
Gerrard,
the final's massive.
It's almost like a free hit for Gerrard.
Yeah.
What I would say is though, if Gerrard does beat Celtic, he better win it.
Oh, why?
If Gerrard's not going to win it, I think he's best off just losing the semi-final. And I know Rangers fans are going, oh no, we can't lose. But I see if Gerrard loses to Celtic, that won't define his return, and I don't think he will. Obviously, if it's 5-6-0, something like that, then he will get a lot of abuse. But I just don't think a one-off defeat when he's just back is going to really do that much damage to him. But I think if he went on to beat Celtic, then got to the final and then lost, you're talking the whole 1-9 thing. I mean, I think if he fumbled a final against someone not called Celtic,
Who's the other final? St Mirren
St Mirren Motherwell, yeah,
have to win that, Gerrard, son.
not that they're not that that's an easy final because
No, it's not.
those two teams are playing well, but still.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Russell Martin was in a final against either two of those teams, they would probably be the favourites. And that's where we were there. But, right, anyway, Kris Boyd seems a happy man. He wants Gerrard. I want Gerrard. Honestly, looking at like Bet365 and the lists of managers, why would you want anyone else? Seriously, why would you... People are like annoyed that we didn't get Sean Dyche. Why would you want him?
Well, Sean Dyche came out and said he wasn't interested.
Yeah, apparently Kevin Telwell, that was his pick.
And honestly, see, Sean... Fuck, does that surprise you?
No, Everton.
That being his pick?
Everton connection.
But not even without the Everton connection, it just feels like, the English route would be their go-to. And I know, but Gerrard's thing... but you know what I mean? Like,
Gerrard's Gerrard. Sean.
But, like, Sean Dyche...
Your bet.
I think the hype behind Sean Dyche that's like 5 years old. Do you not think when Sean Dyche first got Burnley into the Premier League, right, and he finished 7th one season, and the following season was like 8th. I think he'd like back-to-back seasons though in the top half. See, when he first did that though, that seemed impressive, right? That seemed as if, oh look, he's taken a team newly promoted and he's got them into top half. But see, since then, we've seen managers take teams like that are traditionally like championship clubs, and albeit we haven't really seen it happen over the last few years because the teams tend to go straight back down. But we have seen the likes of Brighton and Bournemouth and these smaller teams. We've seen them, and I think Forest as well, not only finish in the top half, but finish in the top half by playing great football.
Yeah.
See, when Burnley were finishing 8th, it was diabolical. It was pretty shite football.
No, it was.
Sean Dyche was getting Burnley into the top half of the table by being hard to beat. But since then, we've seen managers of the likes of Brighton, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest actually get teams into the top half of that standard playing good football. No. So I think when Sean Dyche first did it was like, he felt special because not many people were doing that with that level of club. But now we're seeing clubs that are traditionally not Premiership clubs, Premier League clubs, getting into top half. So
would you agree though?
It just doesn't feel that special anymore. See what Dyche done at Burnley? It does feel pretty average.
Would you agree though that Sean Dyche not Sean Dyche, Steven Gerrard is the best option for Rangers?
I think Sean Dyche is like the English Steve Clark, isn't he?
Less about him, more about Stevie G.
Doesn't he really get me excited?
Not Stevie C. Gerrard.
Yeah, you know what? People bash Gerrard 1-9, but I mean, let's just break it down. First seeds, and I'll totally accept, right? He should have done better in the cups. I think that as a Rangers manager, if you've got 3 full seasons at Rangers, you should be at least winning 1 cup. But I think you should personally be aiming for more than that.
Yep.
But
no, I think the problem that lands with me is, right, see the first season.
No, but
the first season was all about rebuilding, right? And I think you could accept not winning anything because he made us so much better in Europe, right? And we looked better. The second season, I think there's no excuse not to win a cup or two, right? Because I think at that point the team was good. But what you got to bear in mind is Celtic were also good at that point.
No,
right?
Wait, not just good. They were in the middle of the quadruple treble.
Aye.
So only Celtic were winning everything. So
I think the problem is the third season. That should have been a treble, or at least the double.
Yeah, but obviously Callum Davison and St Mirren stepped in.
Aye, he did.
But Gerrard won the league that mattered, right? And like you said, the first season the squad wasn't great. I don't think anybody expected Gerrard to put in a title challenge in the first season, nor should you. Second season, I still think he was building the team, but I think in the first 2 seasons you'd expect him to win at least a cup.
And also the second season was it was handed over for Assume.
Well, that is true. I mean, that is true.
I mean, 99 times out of 100, Celtic win that league because the gap was too big, right? But for the sake of integrity, that league should have been played, and not even from a Rangers point of view, from a Hearts point of view.
Relegated, shaft it.
From a sanity point of view.
Yeah, but let's talk about.
But it's ridiculous that we started the next season like a couple of weeks later, but a couple of weeks before it was deemed unsafe. I mean, come on, who the fuck were they trying to kid with that? I mean, over the border, England finished their season, but we couldn't.
Yeah, but also let's talk about the season where Gerrard did win the league title. Everyone talks about he only won it because Celtic were poor. He was unbeaten. He won 32 games, drew 6.
Oh, Celtic.
It's 102 points. How the fuck can that? How can you disregard that and pretend that he only won it because Celtic were bad?
Celtic were only on 9 in a row because Rangers weren't in the league for a lot of the years, and they also got a title over Sumi. See how we can play this tit for tat game? It's pathetic.
That points tally that Rangers got that year, that wins them. I mean, so Celtic won 13 of the last 14 titles.
Aye.
How many seasons have Celtic finished with more than 102 points? Because I can only think of one. The unbeaten season. They went with 34 wins and 4 draws. Gerrard went unbeaten with 32 wins and 6 draws. So how can Gerrard only have won it because Celtic were poor, when in reality, if you take Gerrard's total amount of points acquired, he wins it every other season apart from the one season Celtic were unbeaten. So, I mean, give him some credit. It was nothing to do with Celtic being shit, and it had everything to do with Rangers being good, and no one could beat them over 38 games.
No. And stop the 10, Gerrard's the man. On that note, will Steven Gerrard win another league title with Rangers?
No, but you want to talk about poor teams winning leagues? Look at the Ronnie Dyler teams that won leagues.
No, I know.
I mean, they won leagues because A, Rangers weren't in it, and B, Aberdeen actually in both seasons chucked it.
Right. Yes or no? Will Gerrard win the league with Rangers again?
Aye. And I wouldn't even rule it out this season.
Yeah, even Chris Sutton said they might win it because Celtic aren't that good. Anyway.
Also, Rodgers is leaving at the end of the season. But you know what? See, at this point, I think
that's for the better.
Yeah,
Celtic.
see, like 6 months ago, I think Celtic fans were worried and they wanted the board to do more and they wanted the board to negotiate a contract where, we need to back Rodgers so he signs a new contract. If we don't back Rodgers in the summer, he's not going to sign a new contract. See the way Celtic are playing at the moment? I actually think there's a decent amount of fans out there that'll be not too bored. As long as Celtic replace him with somebody that is capable.
Getting rid of Rodgers is the quick fix instead of the long fix that is getting rid of the board. Because, I mean, let's be real. Replacing the board is a pipe dream, but what you'll see answers with is a new manager on the pitch. You'll see that more than a board.
Oh, absolutely. So,
anyway, Gerrard, I think he'll win the league. I mean, if say he signs a 5-year deal, he's going to have to win the league. He's going to. Well, I mean, if we're talking about stopping another 10, like he's going to have to do it at some point. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. Peace.